Hi, I'm Mark Speciali. I am a multi-language programmer, web application developer, project manager, yada yada. I made a transition recently from doing almost exclusively LAMP development and managing those kinds of projects to now working with WordPress and using some of my skills to create plugins for WordPress website integrations and customizations. But it was a little difficult at first, so I wanted to pull together something so I could help other coders, and hopefully this helps.
With WordPress, user content, including plugins, is kept in the WP-content folder. When WordPress core files get updated periodically, that folder is left untouched. The themes folder inside it, however, is also subject to change with theme updates. You should avoid the quick fix method of adding custom code to your theme's functions.php file because you'll lose it when you update your theme. Custom code should be in a plugin. When plugins are installed, WordPress extracts them into a protected plugins folder. Your plugin can have whatever files and folders it needs to work, but it only needs a single file to be a plugin, a PHP file with the same name as the plugin folder. Standard naming convention is all small letters and hyphenated where necessary. To install your plugin, make a zipped copy of all your plugin files and install it as normal to WordPress. I've made a simple plugin called MS Data Display to demonstrate how it's done. When active, the content manager of the site only has to add a specific line of text to any page on the site, and the plugin replaces it with a table of fake demo products. There's also a simple admin section for the plugin for adjusting the sort and order settings for the table. The plugin also interacts with both the built-in WordPress database and a custom external one, just to show you how both are done. The code is available here at this site. Aside from the main file, the plugin has a couple of images, a style sheet for the data table, and a short database connection script. The plugin name part of this header section in the main file is the only thing needed to make it a valid WordPress plugin. Some of this other stuff also shows up automatically on the plugins page in the admin section of WordPress. You can add whatever info you want. To enhance security of this plugin, I created a unique prefix property which I add to the variables and method names so they'll never conflict with other plugins. I've also added an exit to prevent hackers from calling the page directly. And I've put it all in a class to further avoid collisions with other objects. Now, you probably already know this, but not all coders use objects. So just to be on the same page here, a class is the code that creates the object. A lot of people confuse those two. Functions inside objects are called methods. Variables inside objects are called properties. And from inside the object itself, we refer to the object as this. Now, when the class is called, the __ construct method runs automatically, calling the other methods as needed to build the new object. So in our construct method, we set up the administration section for the plugin, and then we have the part that actually does the plugin's intended function, which is displaying the products table. WordPress has an extensive and powerful API. I'm going to touch on a tiny bit of it right now, but I'd really recommend that you spend some time reading at the codex. One very important WordPress API function is called add_action. It's often referred to as a hook because it gives you ways to hook into events during page loading and such. We request an action, specify when we want it to happen, and tell it what code we want it to run. Notice that from inside a class, we pass the callback function as an array. So I wrote this method, create plugin settings page link, which generates the HTML markup for the admin menu link to our plugin settings page. This method uses WordPress's built-in add menu page function, which handles everything to add our menu link to the admin menu. So for this action hook, we're telling WordPress that when it's loading the admin menu section, include our custom menu link as well by running our code. Here we set up the framework for the sections of our settings page. Our method uses WordPress's built-in add settings section function to store our markup for the header, body, and footer sections. Then we define the form fields for our settings using WordPress's automation. Add settings field takes the fields we create and stores them as arrays that WordPress can retrieve easily. Register setting adds each plugin setting to a registry to ensure it gets updated properly. The coolest part about all this WordPress automation now is that as long as we place it inside our form tags, we can simply add these 3 lines. Settings fields, do settings sections, and submit button. And WordPress finds all our settings fields and the page sections we defined earlier, unpacks them, and displays them along with a submit button. Here we tell WordPress to include our plugin's CSS for the table formatting when it loads all the other scripts in the header using WordPress's WP and Q style function. And here's where we use add shortcode to tell WordPress what to do when it comes across our string on any of the pages. So the Content Manager adds this shortcode in brackets, and WordPress replaces it with the data returned from this method, sorted according to our settings. Almost all the rest of this is straight PHP, and it's heavily commented, so I won't waste your time with describing it all. But there are a couple of other WordPress API calls in here that I want to mention. You should check out the codex, again, for more details. Get_option is a built-in function to quickly query the options table and retrieve our plugin settings. WPDB is a convenient class with useful methods for managing data. It can be used with the built-in WordPress database or others. Here we instantiate one for our external database and use its getResults method. So once we call the class to instantiate our main plugin object, we can use register uninstall hook to tell WordPress to call its data display uninstall method, which cleans up after our plugin when it's uninstalled. Note that here add shortcode is set to __return _false, which actually removes any of our lingering shortcodes from view after the plugin has been uninstalled. The last thing I want to show you is the global WPDB object, and note that this is a variable that WordPress instantiates automatically using the WPDB class. We use it here to remove our plugin settings from the built-in database after uninstallation.
Well, I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any questions or need anything else from me. With the internet, I can pretty much do anything, and so can you. Have a great day.